Gig work is not for you if you cannot handle this. Now, don't get me wrong, I was completely annoyed by just having to go through that whole thing. But for the most part, my car made it out safe. But that's just an example of what you'll deal with when you're doing any of these apps, whether it's Uber, Lyft, Instacart, Spark, Shipt, all those apps, you're going to deal with people like that. And if you're in an area, not people, excuse me, you're going to deal with like driveways that are like that. The homeowner was totally nice. He was totally cool. You know, he apologized for, you know, the driveway being the way it was, but still, that only goes so far. Like, I can understand both sides because that's a lot of money to be spending to pave that entire road, and at the same time, it's not even just his road. Like, he shares that road with other homeowners, so I understand. But it still doesn't negate the fact that I was annoyed that I had to do that whole entire driveway. I had to go down that driveway, and it was just sketchy. Like, I didn't know if I was gonna get stuck or what was gonna happen. But luckily, I made it through. I was fine. But if you're scared of stuff like that happening, gig work might not be for you. Because honestly, the only thing that you can do moving forward in a situation like that, you need to take that address down and put it on anywhere on your car, right? And then the next time you take an order in whatever zone that you're in, if you see that address pop up, you know not to take it because you're either one, gonna end up with an issue, or two, if you took that address down because maybe it was too difficult to deliver to the customer or perform whatever service it is, then you know for next time not to do that order. The thing with these apps is that it does for the most part tell you where you're going on most apps. I just had to listen there. On most apps, it'll tell you where you're going. I can't talk right now. Jeez. So you're able to somewhat control what's going on, where you're gonna go. But there's other times where you're gonna go in an area where you're not gonna be like happy working in, and it's totally fine to not take those orders. Totally fine. You just have to know what you're doing, and you have to keep track of everything. There was a video that I made about a month and a half ago. It's titled "I Got Scammed by a Customer," and they didn't take money, anything like that, but they did take my time. Like, I spent a little too much time doing that order because the customer lived all the way on the 3rd, 4th floor. It says 3rd floor, but it's technically 4th because just to get onto the base level, there's a set of stairs going. That was a really crappy experience. So anytime, I didn't write down the address at the time, but anytime I see an order, I'm gonna check to see if it says 3rd, 4th, 5th floor, because otherwise I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And like I couldn't leave it on the base level because it's groceries. It's a lot of groceries for them to carry. So I'm already with the groceries. I'm already here. I don't mind going up to the 3rd, 4th floor. Doesn't mean that I want to do it though. That doesn't mean that the customer should expect that. The person wasn't disabled, as far as I know, because usually if they're disabled or have some sort of handicap, they'll mention that in the app. They'll put it in the notes, and boom. So I did that whole entire order, and then come to find out, they didn't even leave any tip. You know, again, I'm not being ungrateful. I'm grateful that I was able to take the order, make the money that I did. But at the very least, if someone's going above and beyond to complete something for you, at least leave something. At least that's just me. I come from a background where, you know, a lot of you guys know me for the fitness and stuff that I used to do, but I also used to do serving. I used to work at restaurants. So I know how it is, where people get crap pay and the companies make them depend on tips. That's literally what a restaurant server is. Like, they have to be dependent on tips because the companies, through a legal loophole, are able to pay their employees like not even half minimum wage, less than half of the minimum wage, of the old minimum wage. Because now in Mass it's like $14, $15. some states like New Hampshire, it's still $7, $8. So you tell me companies can only pay $3 an hour to servers, where the servers have to depend on tips. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. But there's a lot of negatives when it comes to gig work. I know I highlight a lot about the positives, but you have to be open-minded, and you have to realize there's a negative and positive to everything, right? In this video, I'm highlighting the negatives because there's a lot of BS that happens on these orders that if you just let things slide all the time, you're not going to have a good time at all whatsoever. So that previous order that I was mentioning, with that long driveway where I played it in the beginning of the video, I probably won't do that ever again, especially if it's like hot like this, because the whole thing was all muddy. Now my car is all dirty, which is the car, I don't care as much, but that I stepped in mud and all. Like, no, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, at the very least, have like a delivery box at the end of the driveway. That's what some customers do if it's a longer driveway. This was not even a driveway. This is like a roadway that they shared with other people. And then if you don't have like a Jeep or like a vehicle that's high off the ground, like a truck, which I don't know why you do these apps. If you're in a truck, I would stick to roadie if you're on a truck. Just a heads up. But if you're in a truck, you're fine because you're more elevated off the ground. But a typical car, they have the potential to get stuck in that driveway. Like, people need to think about this stuff when they order delivery. And that, that's gonna bring me to another topic, but I might as well get into it. Like, delivery is for people, in my opinion, for the elderly, for people that can't make it out of the house, or maybe they work from home and they don't have time during the day to do it. There's other people that maybe don't like the crowds or are fully capable, but they just kind of want to maximize their time. Like, there's a lot of people on the platforms for delivery work, right? To have stuff delivered to them. The thing is, not everyone needs that. I feel like it's making us as a society more lazy. Yeah, it's creating the jobs, like people like me. If I'm, I'm grateful for that, to have a job. But there's some people that need it more than others. There's elderly that need this. Like, that, fully stand by. If they don't even ask me to bring it up to wherever it is, I go above and beyond for them because they need it. Anyone with a disability, same thing. Like, they need that. But if you're fully capable of going out yourself, at least have the what's the phrase? The presence of mind to think of whoever's dropping your stuff off. Like, if you don't make it accessible for them to drop stuff off, like, I'm not even talking about this whole road issue. I've had customers where it's like, oh, please leave it on the porch, and then the porch is like all icy. It's completely icy, where it's like a hazard. And normally I wouldn't talk about this, but just a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, I hyperextended my knee. And I know I mentioned this in another video, but I get that, anyone would sue in that situation. Me, I don't feel like dealing with all that. I know I'll heal for the most part. I'm totally fine now. But what happened was, it was snowy outside. I ended up stepping on a sled that was in the walkway, but it was buried under snow because it was currently snowing when I was doing the order. So, I was going down the hill because there was no steps, of course, and I ended up stepping on this slide, and then my knee just went inward. So a hyperextension is when, if something flexes that way, I bent it the opposite way. So instead of my knee bending normally, it bent backwards. That's what a hyperextension is, for those who don't know. And man, that was brutal. Like, I was able to finish the rest of the day, still make good money, but the next couple days, I literally had to take a day or 2 off, when I normally would not take days off or something like that. But my knee swelled so much to the point where I could not bend my knee. And I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, why don't you sue? Why don't you do this or that?" I don't have time for all that. Plus, I didn't take enough pictures. So I know I could have and stuff, but it's just, I don't know. I'm not against suing, but the thing is, like, you guys can flame me in the comments all you want. Like, I don't know. It's just, it feels like a lazy way of earning money, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm hurt and stuff, and yeah, they like someone should pay if someone else got hurt on their property or on their dime, or if they're not capable of making it a safe environment for someone to drop something off or whatever the situation is. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't want to go through all that headache, you know. But anyway, the video's going on a little longer. It's just, guys, there's gonna be BS that happens at these with these gig apps. You just got to learn how to be able to manage that stuff, because that stuff can get to you real quick. Again, if you want to watch the first part of the video, that driveway literally took me 3 minutes to drive through. I was driving literally 3 to 7 miles an hour throughout the whole entire length of that driveway. Such a waste of time. But again, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and I was in the middle of an order, so there's nothing really I could have done. If I didn't feel like delivering it, because technically I wasn't able to do it without extreme caution, I had to drive super slow. I could have had the order, you know, returned back to the store, but the order is 30 minutes, maybe 28 miles away from the actual store. So now I'm wasting mileage, because I did the math, and if you ever have to return a customer's order back to the store, even if you already did all the miles to drive to the customer, they only gave me $2.50, $3 last time that I had to return an order. So now, not returning any orders. If it's out of the way, I'm not returning any orders. I'm gonna do what I can to make that delivery, and that's that. Now, if I'm heading back towards the towards the store, I'll take it. It's fine, no problem. But it's happened too many times where, you know, I can't make a delivery. Maybe they requested a passcode or a signature, and then they're not even there. This could be another whole video, but like, there's customers that literally request a passcode by accident or request that they have a signature, and then they'll be like, oh, don't ring the bell, the dogs will go crazy. It's like, dude, I need a signature. How am I going to contact you? Right? Be like, don't call, don't do this and that. Like, what am I supposed to do to reach you? Like, I need a signature. You got medicine. Like, I can't just drop it off. So there's a lot of BS that comes with these apps, but you just got to know how to manage them and know what to look for, know what to expect. You know, if there's a particular area that usually gives more issues than good orders, stay away from those areas. Stay away from those zones. There's some stores that I don't go to because the orders come so infrequently, it's just not worth me going out. But yeah, again, this video's gone a little longer. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you know anyone who could benefit from this video, make sure you share it with them. Don't gatekeep. But yeah, until then, I will see